Yeah, building's great. I like the building modes. I like being able to go to the workbench, break up a bunch of different building materials, and do what I want with them. Built us a gigantic house, farm, and plan to do some more in the future. And actually, just yesterday, Chase and I were experimenting with the luminous growth as a building material, and we built
Yes.
ourselves a little patio
Future club.
Saw it.
with the glow in the dark
I logged in
glow in the
today.
dark lights going up as like lights on the ceiling.
Mikey, welcome back, my friend. Why don't you tell us, man? It's been a while since we've been able to all get in a game together, so I know you were
Mhm.
excited about this too.
Yeah, with Enshrouded, it brings back a lot of our old Valheim days.
Yep.
Just kind of exploring, man. One of my favorite things is just getting out, exploring the map, checking out new places, trying to find areas that we can pull resources and whatnot. But I think that's my biggest thing. Is just I don't know how long we've been playing for so many days so far, and we've yet to maybe get through a quarter of the map. And I love
Not
games that
even a
give you,
quarter. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
probably more
massive.
like an eighth or a 16th, who knows.
Hmm.
But just the exploration and just having that at your own pace kind of situation.
Chase, give it
Yeah.
to us, man.
I'm going to give you guys the real deal because I am not normally a fan of survival games. I burned out hard on Rust, one of the first big survival esque games out there. And this surprised me. Honestly, I was not in it. I was hyped about it slightly. I was very hesitant because I'm not a fan, like I said. But for some reason, in the last, since Wednesday? When did this game launch? Like, it feels
Last
like it's
Wednesday.
been,
24th.
Yeah.
yeah, I've been hooked. I'm 20 plus hours in already, and
Yep.
I'm already on the subreddit digging into how to go where and what and do how this and all this. And it's just been such a joy, and it's so relaxing to what Mikey was saying. It's so relaxing and
Yeah.
kind of cathartic just to come, in the morning with a cup of coffee and go do
Hmm.
a small quest here, or go search for an item, because it's just a world that it's just there, and it's beautifully crafted. It's so beautifully crafted. And I'm a big artist. My background is in art, and so it's just, I look at it from a perspective of aesthetic, and I see like the hard work that they put into this. The team did not just say, oh, this is procedurally generated and it'll change all the time. This is a
Hmm.
beautifully crafted world that they've created. And we're only, like, to what Mikey was saying, we've only got one like small slice of the world right now. And apparently there's gonna be like triple or quadruple the amount. And it's already
Hmm.
huge. So I just really have an appreciation for what the developers did. And
Yeah.
this is only the beginning. So it's just so good. The adventuring, the RPG elements, and the building, and it's fun.
For me, I was looking for the next step up from Valheim when I saw this game, and I was afraid that I was going to be let down. I mean, there's been a lot of letdowns in recent memory, so I wasn't anticipating the best, but I was hoping for it. And I think this game did a phenomenal job improving on a lot of the things that Valheim did right. And that's what I wanted it to be, was just a better Valheim. And I feel like I'm getting exactly just that. So
Mhm.
it's been great being able to get the guys back together, with our scattered schedules. It's just when it does happen, it's magical, and I'm happy that it's a low stress environment that's just such a nice blend of very easy gameplay mixed with just hanging out with your friends. It's a good time. For an early access game, Enshrouded does have a good base game, but so far we do have a lot of good things to say. But there are minor critiques, and then I want to talk about what we mainly want from our individual standpoint that would enhance the game.
Mhm.
So I'll start. Few small critiques, quality of life that I think should have been a no brainer. A way to efficiently get water. I don't know if
Hmm.
you can do that yet, but hey, that'd be nice. You need water for a lot of things. I would like to see naming storage crates. I don't know why that's not a thing.
Hmm.
Just little nitpicky things so far that I'm like, what? Why isn't that there? Right? Um, labeling waypoints. That would be good. I'd like to label them. Now I have to remember which was which because they all say home 1, home 2, whatever, you know?
I actually have one in particular that's been kind of a high level nitpick, not really anything too, game breaking, but I think to have more NPCs, to have more. I know
Mhm.
that the lore is the world ended, you're the, Flameborn, and you came out of nowhere, and there's only been 5 or 6 people left in this world, but I think there's more to this to be exploring, and I'm sure this is their intent, is to add more NPCs to rescue. Because I
Mhm.
love that gameplay loop. I think it gives an additional layer of go save X because they're going to help you, or they're going to add to your town, or rather than just a table to craft, it's a person that helps you craft, and you have to save them. So I think that's a really neat cycle, but I think there needs to be more of that.
I think there should be more found gear out in the wilds. I feel like you know, when you guys are coming back with the stuff, it's usually like more of the materials, and I think there should be way more swords, axes, like all those types of things should be more found. Like I feel like you
Yeah.
only really find them in chests. You never
Mhm.
find them on the warriors that you're fighting out there. There should be just more of that,
Yeah.
especially when you use them as salvage to boost your current weapons.
Right.
I feel like the progression in that is kind of
You
slow.
you want to get that dopamine hit when you're out in the world.
Mhm.
Like I earned this chest to
Yeah,
drop this
Mhm.
awesome helmet or something like that. Right, right. I get
or,
it.
or even just gear in general, just more of it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just not a lot of it out there. And then, me as a builder and a farmer, hey, why can't I tame animals and breed them too?
I'd say the one thing that I've been noticing is like information management, like an interactive map, being able to identify and show people, like, hey, for example, the other day I found this sweet copper mine, and I just like to leave it for everybody to see on the map and be like, hey,
Yeah.
over here, because I've relayed it to a
Mhm.
couple of people, but then over in communication, it gets set off to the wayside, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
some people
Yeah.
who weren't on at certain times didn't get the information. Just having a
Mhm.
way to identify certain locations, and maybe like how
Hmm.
Valheim was, having a table where you can update and
Mm-hmm.
show
Cartographer.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
I did notice that where like you've been places and I can't see them on my map.
Right.
Yeah, you can mark those waypoints, but those waypoints don't get
Yeah,
anywhere but yourself. And that,
yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And you can't even
interesting.
label them. And
Yep,
I think the
very
last
true.
thing we're all forgetting, which I don't know how it slipped my mind because it was the first thing we all asked, is there no chat box or emotes? Like what? How are you
I
supposed
know,
to
right?
communicate in here?
I
We had
might, I
guys
want to
jumping
dance. I
in.
want to dance.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
again a no-brainer.
Mm,
But I mean, let me reiterate again. This hopefully this is very short-lived. This is a liminal space between the game being early access and finally becoming refined. I want to talk about the things that we'd personally like to see in the game because I have one that would enhance it quite a bit for me, for my experience. Chase, why don't we start with you, man?
oh man. I mean, if really I had to get into it, I'm a sucker for mounts. And I don't know if
Yes.
that's coming, but I would love a mount. Come on, let me ride
Yeah.
a wolf. Let me, it's like to Rob's point. Let's tame animals for either livestock or riding
Yeah.
them. Add that layer of engagement and immersion to the world by going like these aren't just randoms to go and take their wool or take their
The
hide or
world's
whatever.
perfect for it too.
It's built
Mhm.
For
for it.
all kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's built for it. So I always go back to Guild Wars for kind of the bee's knees of best of when it comes to, that element, when you're
Yeah.
when you're riding those beasts and they all have a purpose. If they gave that level of depth, and it doesn't have to be that deep, but some form of that.
Mikey, what do you want to see, man?
Honestly, so far so good. I love the game. I'm having a good time. But if I had to nitpick, I like customizable stuff with the armor, with
Hmm,
Yeah.
anything you're wearing, color schemes. Like
yes.
I'm a huge fan of just rolling out in the green or all black. Just having some type of customizable ability with your armor scheme. I think
Yeah.
that would actually add, and maybe so in some of the updates to come. Like we've been saying, it's an early access. we're in the early stages. Therefore, the likelihood of that coming is a big hope and likelihood. But
Yeah.
I like that customizable piece with the armor.
Rob, what about you? Does it have to do with building?
No, it doesn't have to be.
All right.
The building is great in this game. I don't really have much complaints. Number one, a very small thing, just more water and more wells.
Yes.
For not just for drinking, but for obviously doing the crops and the seeds and all that. And then one thing that kind of grinded me a little bit is, when I was reading like from, messages from devs, they said, well, when you carry a certain weapon, when you go and get chests, usually the percentages are you'll get a same type of weapon. So if you're sword and board like me, you'll most likely find a single-handed melee weapon in the chest. It has been the exact opposite for me. Every single chest I open is either a two-handed staff or a two-handed melee weapon.
So true.
And I'm just stuck with the same one-handed weapon I've been playing since almost like the second or third day.
I think, Rob, you've given me two-handed axes.
Yep. I don't want them. I don't want to play two-handed weapons.
Rob is, he's definitely feeling the loot aspect here. He wants some of that. And these are all great ideas. For me, I would have to say it's the combat. I want more variety. I was hoping the skill trees would provide abilities. I know Tom said that he saw the hotkeys were the equipment slots and thought they were going to be abilities. And I did too at first. But for me, the combat I would like to see be more robust, more animations. I don't know why you can't dual wield when enemies can dual wield. More weapon varieties. Like, it has a lot of potential, and I feel that if they were improving on Valheim, which clearly they were, it's virtually the same game, more or less. It just isn't a new skin. I would hope that they would even go further to make the combat more engaging, because that is part of the base game, I would say.
Yeah. For me, the most exciting thing was getting the double jump, and then now I have the double jump plus the overhead smash, which has been super exciting. And I think it's that progression. If they expand upon that, I think there's probably more that I haven't explored yet, but I think they're ticking away at it. So, I mean, like I said, we're only 20 plus hours in, so maybe there is
the
more.
The skill tree was deceptively... It looked as though it was more complicated than it actually is. Because then you look through it, and they're mostly passives.
Yep.
There's only a few things you can bind that really do anything without just being a passive. So, I think they could have done more with that. It works for now, and I think a lot of players are satisfied with it. But and I am too. But I'd like to see more.
Come on, subscribe. I put on a hat for this.